All right, let's begin this hour with coverage of the countdown to Election Day, now under 3 weeks away. We are taking our 3-meal series back on the road to break bread with voters in key states and hear what's on their minds. First stop, Arizona, with its 3 hotly contested statewide races, in each of them the Republican contender, including those who would run the state's next elections, back the falsehood that former President Trump won in 2020. Ed O'Keefe took a road trip through Arizona and hit 3 different restaurants for his 3 meals.
To size up the growing gulf in the Grand Canyon state, we started our day at Harlow's Cafe, a Tempe, Arizona institution.
How you doing?
Good. How you
I'm
doing?
Ed. Nice to meet you.
Owned by the SFs since 1980.
This place is hopping.
Yes,
Well, we're happy for that. Super Dad.
Regulars fuel up on breakfast favorites, coffee,
Just like my third cup. So good.
and occasionally something even stronger.
What's your favorite item on the menu?
Bloody Mary.
The Bloody Marys? Those look pretty good.
Friends Jeff and Brian's politics also bleed red.
I think Joe Biden's the worst president ever, man.
Why?
First of all, look at gas, the economy, the border. We got fentanyl. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't care about Americans.
Trump could run again. All he has to do is say, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago when I was in office? And the answer would be a resounding no.
Hello, Phoenix.
Former President Trump endorsed Republican Blake Masters to unseat Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, a Democrat.
Mark Kelly does nothing for this state.
I don't know.
What do you know about Blake Masters?
I don't know anything about him. He's just not Mark Kelly.
Okay.
He's endorsed by Trump. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I think
Does that make it easier?
Trump can do my vetting for me.
Trump can do your vetting for
Yes.
you.
Yep. If Trump likes him, I'm going to like him.
Karen Kellogg agrees on Harlow's Bloody Marys,
Chef's kiss.
but the state's new near-total ban on abortion
It's scary.
has the 22-year-old finally ready to register to vote here.
I thought that my government has failed me. I thought that this system no longer works for its people.
Shirlene Samuels,
Coffee is good.
on her way to the Grand Canyon, shares Karen's concerns.
The abortion, that's a big issue for me because I thought we were going past that. That's unbelievable that we're here now.
What do you think of the president?
I don't think you want my opinion. I voted for him, but there's a lot of work to be done.
From there, we headed east on Highway 60, leaving behind all the sprawl. Maricopa County, which includes Phoenix, added more new residents last year than any other county in the country.
It's gotten so big here that they had to redraw the congressional lines in a way that made about 3 or 4 of the districts far more competitive than they would have been in the past.
One of those districts is here in copper mining country, where we found more signs of the election. And in Superior, Los Hermanos, run by these Dos Hermanos, Anthony and Richard.
And so you were 2 of the original 6 brothers, you said?
Owner Richard Tamarone's team still makes the tortillas by hand, but not like they used to.
We used to go through about 400 pounds of flour a day, 5 and 6 days a week. Now we go 100 pounds, 4 days a week.
Still, talk of politics sizzles, like their signature chimichangas.
If one of those candidates walked in here right now to have lunch, what would you say to him?
Get rid of all the bull, the Trump bull.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know what I mean. You see it on TV all the time.
It's all of them. You know, I can't trust a Democrat, and I'm a Democrat, you know, because you put them in Washington, they do the same thing.
Russell Kitchener, a registered independent, here with his wife Lorraine, saw that in President Biden's decision to forgive some student loans.
I got student loans, my wife got student loans, millions of people got student loans, and we paid them back. That's strictly a case of catering to a population that already leans toward his party. So, you know, I see through that, and I hope he pays for it. Politically, I hope he does.
Action. For dinner, we drove south towards the border and El Charro Cafe in Tucson, celebrating its 100th birthday. They say that makes it the country's oldest family-owned Mexican restaurant. 90-year-old Barbara Madison has been around almost as long.
I'm a Democrat, so I'm voting for the Democrats. Although we've had some pretty good Republicans in this state. John McCain, Barry Goldwater. I mean, he's been around as long as Barry Goldwater was, so.
Just a table away,
You have a preferred candidate?
I do, but I won't tell you who it is.
Danielle Taylor didn't hold back on her top issues.
Securing our borders, first and foremost. Nothing's more important to me than securing our borders. And I am a small business owner, and so keeping in mind that the inflation is a real problem.
For the mom, making this election personal.
How personal do you want me to be?
It's up to you.
I would like to see this country turn around for the better, and voting is the only way to make that happen.
It was a lot to digest, if you will, but one thing we kept hearing over and over again from people we met with is they basically just want their elected leaders to hear them, to understand that there's a lot of pain and concern and confusion out there, and they want people all the way here in Washington or there in Phoenix to do something about it, Let's call out these places again. Harlow's Cafe in Tempe, Los Hermanos in Superior, and El Charro Cafe. They've got a few spots in Tucson, all of them gracious to open their doors. The customers gracious with their time. Guys, if I never see chips and salsa again, that would be a good thing. We were served it at dinner. We were served it at lunch. We were even served chips and salsa at breakfast. They were very good, but
yeah,
I'm good for a while.
It was a great piece.
Let me tell you, though, Ed, that French toast at Harlow's, it's a perfect shade of gold and brown and fluffy and thick. Although there was a lot of substance to your piece, I'm still thinking about that French toast. But what I really like is how candid people are with you, because talking politics is always such a personal thing, but it shows you how frustrated people are and they want their voices heard, and you gave them that.
Well, Gayle, Ed's a veteran, Ed's a veteran, and he knew he would get good comments from the guys drinking the Bloody Marys in the morning.
Well,
Got to loosen them up a little bit.
But those guys were really interesting. What Brian told you, Ed, about if former President Trump likes a candidate, then they like the candidate. That's essentially what the former president is banking on when he endorses certain candidates. And when Shirlene told you that she thinks that we have a lot more to do, even though she voted for President Biden, thought that was telling as well.
Ed, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it was just incredible to see so much of what we read about and reading the polls personified by those people. It helps to have a drink and a full belly when you're talking politics, it seems.
All right.
It's a great piece, Ed. Really well done.
Really, really well done. Thank you so much. Coming up.